All right. This is a preview to day 8 at the US Open. There's 4 fourth round matches left in men's, 4 fourth round matches left in women's. I'm Somdev Devvarman, my good friend Purav Raja. We are the tennis geeks, and we're going to take you through what we can expect with the upcoming fourth round matches. Let's start with the men. And the 4 matches: Sinner versus Paul, Borges versus Medvedev, Draper versus Mahach, and De Minaur versus Thompson. Let's go from the very top. The top seed: Jannik Sinner, Tommy Paul. Where do we see this one going, Purav?
Yeah, I mean, if I was to take my chance, I'd definitely put something on Tommy Paul winning. I think he's the favored American. I think he's beaten Jannik Sinner before. Yes, it was a while ago, and it was on grass, but I think they've played on all three surfaces, and Tommy Paul has beaten him. And I think if I was a betting man, I'd put something on Tommy Paul for sure. I think, how is Jannik Sinner going to recover? How is he going to, go through? This is his first real test.
First big test. I think that's fair. I think that's fair because Tommy Paul has had an incredible year. He's had an incredible year. He's made semi-finals at Indian Wells, semi-finals at Rome, won Queens. I mean, he's playing the tennis of his life. He's fast. He's electric. He's a shot maker. Yeah. The question now comes for me, as a former player, comes down to the matchup. And I've watched Tommy Paul play over here. If it becomes a baseline slugfest, which Jannik Sinner is going to try to make it, also keeping in mind that it's a night match at Arthur Ashe Stadium, so it will be a baseline slugfest. If it's a baseline slugfest, do you see Tommy Paul finding his way out of that?
Yeah, I see him finding some sort of, at least the crowd will be behind him, some sort of rhythm. Let's not forget Jannik Sinner has lost some popularity. The crowd will be even more.
This is true. The crowd is going to be absolutely behind Tommy Paul.
The crowd's going to be crazy. So I think, Tommy Paul, I'd put him in with a shot. I would put something on Tommy Paul. Not a lot, but I'd definitely take a chance. If there were good odds, I'd go on Tommy Paul.
All right. Well, Jannik Sinner, in my opinion, certainly the favorite. I think Purav agrees. But yes, Tommy Paul does have a shot.
But should we go with a prediction for this one? I'd say I'm going to go Paul in 5.
Ooh, you like that. All right, I'm going to go Sinner. Well, I feel like staying safe over here because I do think he's the favorite left in the tournament. There's no question. So Sinner in let's say 4 sets.
Wow. Okay.
All right, let's say. But the winner of that match will then play the winner of either Borges, who's having an incredible run. Borges versus Medvedev. That is up in the day session at Arthur Ashe. How do we see that?
Look, I think I don't see much of a chance. I think the 2021 champion, I think Medvedev's just too much in form. I think he's going to... he's had a tough year. He's had a serving issue this year. I think Borges can take a set, maybe take a tie break, take it to a few tie breaks. I don't see how Borges is going to win this match. I think Medvedev... 4 sets, I'm going to say, but he'll be pushing it to 4. It could be Medvedev in straight. It depends on which Borges shows up,
and depends on how much how much gas left in the tank for someone like a Nuno Borges. 27, it's a breakout year.
It's the biggest match of his life coming up.
But it was also a 4th round in Australia.
No, but I'm saying in terms of Portuguese tennis, and this is kind of biased opinion based on he's going to go and become the greatest Portuguese player if he wins this match.
That is incredible. That's special. That's special for any player.
I'm sure he knows that. I'm sure he's 30 in the world. If he beats 26 in the world, he's going to be the greatest Portuguese player ever. And that's, I'm sure, playing on the back of his mind.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. But I think for to beat Daniel Medvedev, and let's just take a look at the people Daniel Medvedev has lost to at the US Open. Last year in the finals, went down to Novak. We all know that. 2022, lost to Nick Kyrgios in the 4th round. Big hitter, big server. 2021, he won it. 2020, he lost to Dominic Thiem in the semifinals. Another big server, another massive hitter of the ball. Nuno Borges is not a big hitter of the ball. And tennis is so much about matchups. I just feel like Daniel Medvedev is just
not a match. I think
super comfortable. I mean, Borges has a great drop shot. He's going to get Medvedev out of his comfort zone position from behind the baseline. Yes, but... Yeah. As the match goes on, as the rallies get more grueling, I think Medvedev is a heavy favorite there.
Yeah, keep your money safe. I think that's
And the next one, Jack Draper. This is the opportunity section, remember, because Carlos Alcaraz is out. Is Jack Draper versus Thomas Mahach.
Yeah, I think, Mahach, of course, had a great season, had a great run, can really dominate Draper, can take the racket away from you, really dominates from the baseline. I'd go a lot on Jack Draper. I haven't seen, what I haven't seen the best of Jack Draper yet, but saying that, I know that his best is close. So I think that this is the slam where he can really embark on his best, and that's why I say Jack Draper. I'm going to say Draper in 5. I'm going to say a long match, somehow short rallies though. I don't expect rallies to be long. Don't expect it to be that physical. I just expect the scoreline to be very close.
I expect tightness to come into this, and I say that because neither players made the quarterfinal. I feel like it's going to be the solidity of Thomas Mahach versus the weapons of Jack Draper. Who has more firepower in this match? No question.
Yeah, Jack
Everybody
Draper
knows.
is my long shot to win the tournament. I don't know what the chances are and what the bets say, but I think Jack Draper to win.
And the last match that we have to talk about in the top half, that's the last fourth round match. Alex de Minaur, Jordan Thompson, two Aussies going head to head over there. De Minaur is just coming off, in my opinion, is what is a miraculous recovery from a hip injury that he had. Remember, the last tournament he played before the US Open was at Wimbledon. Quarterfinals, had to pull out of his match against Novak because he hurt himself in match point at Wimbledon. He went to Serbia, went to Belgrade, worked on his hip, came back, and lo and behold, he's got a chance to make another quarterfinal here. So, I mean, unbelievable player. I love watching him, but him and Thompson.
Yeah, I mean it's a country match, so again a lot of tightness. There's a lot of feeling of who's going to win that one. I feel Thompson has a shot. De Minaur in straight would be the obvious choice, would be the favourites choice, would be the one that is the most touted for.
It's a safe one.
It's a safe one. I think De Minaur in straight is probably the option, but Thompson in 5 is not a crazy thing because we don't know how fit. I don't know how fit De Minaur is.
De Minaur's not been tested. Yes, the last 2 sets against Evans was love and love. I don't think it was a tennis match. But I mean, I would put my money on De Minaur simply because I've seen it in the past from him.
I'd keep to De Minaur on this one. I wouldn't take an outside shot on Thompson. I'd keep the money on De Minaur.
And here's a crazy thing for all our viewers to think about. Between De Minaur, Thompson, Draper, and Mahach, one of them is making semis. So it's your bet who's the best one. But we finish the men's now, moving into the women's, and we have to lead with the number 1 seed, Iga Swiatek. She loves that matchup against Samsonova.
Yeah.
Schneider, Pegula, Wozniacki, Haddad Maia, and Mukova and Paolini. Let's start with Swiatek, shouldn't we?
Yeah, Swiatek in straight for sure. I think Swiatek's just, she's not lost many games in this matchup. This matchup is 4-0. I don't see how Samsonova can affect her this later on in the tournament. Yes, Samsonova is 16 and this might be her biggest test so far. It could be one close set in there. There may be one 7-5 or 6-4 set, but I think Swiatek in straight, 7-5, 6-1.
7-5. The last 4 sets have been 6-2,
I just feel like
6-2.
one set, last few sets have been 6-1, 6-love, 6-2, 6-2. I just feel like, 7-5, 6-1, I'm going.
All right. I think Swiatek's a safe bet for everybody over there. But Schneider versus Pegula. Schneider is 20 years old. She's 18 in the world. No one's talking about Diana Schneider. And I think that's a shame because we should. We should talk about Diana Schneider. And I will say this. At the start, she's got 46 wins this year already. Start of the year, she wins a 250 on hard in Hua Hin. Goes on, wins a 500 on grass in Germany. After that, follows it up with a 250 win on clay. So you're talking about a lefty that can win on all 3 surfaces. Made semifinals in Toronto, and there she lost.
She's 20 years old.
She's 20 years old.
So she's going to be 15 in the world.
I know.
It's crazy. It's I think definitely outside shot. I cannot give her a favorite shot just yet because I haven't seen the wins at this level yet. And I think that at Grand Slams, it's important to have those wins. It feels slightly different. So I'm going to say Jessica Pegula, safe bet. But how fit is Pegula?
That's a good question because she is coming off an injury. However, she did win Toronto. She made the finals in Cincy. She's obviously played a lot of tennis.
All that adds up for me enough. And she's beating Schneider.
Hasn't lost a set so far.
I'm going to go Pegula in 3. Pegula in 3.
I'm going the other way.
Oh, wow.
I'm going the other way simply because the 20-year-old Diane Schneider, she lost 4-3 to Pegula in the semifinals in Toronto. But I do feel like that 20-year-old versus a 30-year-old, you learn a lot from those losses in big matches. And Schneider just seems to have that winning feeling this year.
Pegula in 3, but I agree with you, and I think Schneider's the name to watch out for the future.
All right. The next fourth round match we have to talk about Wozniacki versus Haddad Maia. And what a run Wozniacki's had. Last year, this time, we didn't expect her to make a whole lot out of her comeback. I mean,
My problem with Wozniacki is she's only made 1 or 2 quarterfinals this year, and the one that she did make in Indian Wells, she pulled out. So as the tournament goes on, how much can she last, and how good is her body feeling to have played half a season and to come through and not be? And now she's, I would say at the last bit of her career. I think that's fair to say.
I mean, I think it was fair to say 4 years ago when it was. Exactly. But she's come back. It's nothing short of miraculous. She's 70 in the world with half a schedule, 2 kids.
Haddad Maia. I'm going Haddad Maia. I think she can grind this one out.
I agree, because Haddad Maia in the last 6 sets in the tournament, she lost the opening set to Avanasian 4-6. After that, 6-love, 6-2, 6-2, 6-1 against Sorribes Tormo, 6-3, 6-1 against Kalinskaya, finals of Cleveland. So she's winning tons of matches. She's got more firepower than Wozniacki.
I think she can dig a little bit further.
I think so.
Haddad Maia, maximum 3 sets. It could be a whitewash.
It could be. Rybakina beat Wozniacki earlier this season, love and 1. Yes, different matchup, different everything, but I think you're right. With Wozniacki, you just don't know what she has right now.
Maia keeps putting balls back in. She'll keep putting balls back in. And, that's the one that I think stands out. Haddad Maia.
And the last one, Mukova versus Paolini. That's the last fourth round. That's going to be today. Mukova 3-0 against Paolini. A different Paolini, because Paolini in 2024 is, this is a breakout season at 28. We don't see it very often. A different player at 28. We don't see that very often. But Mukova versus Paolini, what are your thoughts?
I said keep your outside chances. I said earlier on Jack Draper, and on the women's side, I'm saying Caroline Mukova. Keep your outside bets on them, because I think they're going to be big names to watch out for. They can cause upsets. Now, I'm not sure if they can cause the upsets in this tournament, but over the course of their careers, they're going to be the ones to watch out for. Mukova's played half a season, sitting at 50 in the world. She's beaten Paolini 3 times. Surely she believes she can win this one. Yes, it was a long time ago. Paolini's a different player now. I'm going to say Mukova in a tight match. Probably it's a tight 2 sets, maybe 3 sets. But if Mukova is fit, I think she wins this one.
I'm going to go with Paolini. Because and I'll tell you why. Because I just feel like she's winning so many matches.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you where she started the year? She's 5 in the world.
The odds are with Paolini. You're right. She is the favorite. Odds are with Paolini.
I didn't check the odds before that one, but
Caroline Mukova for me is just a great outside chance to cause an upset for the tournament.
Yeah, I think that's anyone's bet right there, because Mukova winning wouldn't surprise the tennis world. Paolini winning wouldn't surprise the tennis world either, with the season she's been having. But that's all we have. 4 fourth round matches for the men. For the women, you got our thoughts.